Welcome to the Brad and Taylor Show. Today we have Lindsey Mooney.
You're listening to the Brad and Taylor Show, a podcast that inspires entrepreneurs to pursue their passions. We're sitting down with some of the best to learn how they got started and some lessons they learned along the way.
Hey, Lindsey.
Hey, guys.
How are you doing?
Doing good. I'm excited.
Oh, yeah. This is awesome. Well, let's get the show started. Tell us a little bit about you. What do you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am a realtor in the Cleveland area. I'm just about a year into my career, so kind of new. And I wear many hats. I'm a realtor. I'm also a healthcare worker. I have a fashion blog. The list goes on and on.
I like it. I like it. And you got the hats on the wall. I like it.
Yeah, many hats. See, as you can see, I just grab one and go.
Yep. I like
That's perfect.
it. So how'd you get into real estate? What'd you do before real estate?
Yeah, so I was in actually corporate retail for many, many years, about 10 years. And then with COVID, life changed for me as it did for everyone else. I kind of dove into what makes me tick, what do I love? Real estate has always been a passion of mine. I remember looking for houses when my family moved from West Virginia to Columbus, and I had like a notebook and like notes. This house smells. This one's cool. I like this room. So I had always loved it from an early age. And so I thought, I really want to get into this. So I got licensed last October.
Nice. I like it. How's it been so far?
You know what? It's been great. I would say there's been a lot of challenges, a lot of persevering. I would say I definitely now finally feel like I'm in the business. There's appointments galore, which is really great. So I feel like I'm starting to get that traction and starting to really run a business.
I like it. How'd that first month go?
First month was tough. I'm not going to lie. I feel like it was a lot of, okay, I've got my license. Now what do I do? Right.
Yes.
So it was the panic of, okay, I crossed over the bridge. I did the hard part. And then now I'm actually in the hard part of how do I get clients? What do I do to market myself? For me, it was extra challenging just being newer to the area. Mm-hmm. So I didn't have that built-in sphere. So I really had to dig deep on what were going to be my pillars of success and what was I going to do to shape my business.
When you first started out to kind of grow your sphere, how did you go about that? I know you said you're newer to the area. So did you do a lot of like community events or social media? What did you do for that?
Yeah, so it's been a lot of things. I would say a lot of my business has come from my sphere that I didn't think I had. So it was a lot about reaching out to friends and family that I do have in the area and just keep reminding them, hey, I'm in real estate now. How can I help you? Is there anyone else that I can help that you may know? So that's been really successful. Open houses too. Yeah. I've really found that I love them. I just put on one the other week. I do games at my open houses. I try to get people involved, do different things just so they're not bored walking around. So I really love that. I would love to get in more to events. I feel like just now things starting to get back to normal with COVID. I'd love to get more into the event space as well.
Yeah, I know you mentioned games at the open houses. I have not heard of that, and that is so unique, and I love it. What do you do for the games?
Yeah, so this last one, I did like an I Spy open house edition. Okay. So I hid little army men around the house and told people, okay, like, here's a piece of paper, fill out your information. Guess how many army men you see, and you can be entered to win a gift card. So It was really fun. It kept people excited, something different, memorable, and also kept them in the house longer too. Because a couple people went around, looked, and they're like, oh no, I didn't look for the army men, and had to go around again. So successful in multiple ways.
Yeah, and it builds that communication with you too. So they're not just walking through and then leaving, you actually communicate. So that's awesome.
Exactly. Yeah.
I love that.
I thought it was fun.
Did you get that idea from somebody else, or is that something that you kind of just came up with on your own?
I think I saw it randomly on a Facebook post somewhere, like a real estate group from out of state, and then kind of took it and ran with it and made it my own. So I'm glad I saw that on a scroll one day.
Yes.
Yeah. It definitely makes the open house fun though.
Yeah. I want to go to an open house now and do that.
I know.
Yeah.
That does sound
exactly.
fun.
There were people that were not even there. Like they were looking like for a friend or family. I'm like, that's okay. Play the game. You never know. So they loved it.
That's fun. When you first started out, is there any advice that you got from maybe anybody near you, or did you start on a team or were you solo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I started on a team and then transitioned to solo. I would say the biggest advice I've been given is to do it scared anyway. I'm really a type A person. So I love to have everything planned out. I like to know everything in advance. I like to go through scenarios of like, if this happens, then this, and then I do this and whatnot. And with real estate, it's just not that way. You kind of really have to go with the flow and attack issues as they come up. So it's really been a big process for me just to do it scared anyway and not have the fear of the unknown or not knowing what the outcome could be.
Yeah, absolutely. What over the last year, what is the worst property that you have been to? What do you think is the worst showing?
Oh my gosh. So there's one that sticks out to me. And luckily it was my parents that I was showing houses to. It was one of my first couple that I did. And we walk in, it was a condo, and I turn the key, I open the door, and straight in the middle of the living room, the ceiling is gushing water. I'm not talking like a little like splash. I'm talking like a waterfall in the house. And I was like, oh my gosh, don't move. We have to call someone. So obviously I got a hold of the other realtor and we got everything figured out. Safe to say they did not purchase that home. But it was quite the like, what the heck do we do when we walked into that?
Did a pipe burst in that one when you guys, like, just the timing, you guys were there and the pipe burst just before you walked in?
Yeah, it was like a big leak that had just happened and we had just caught it just in time. It was empty. The people didn't know. So I felt really bad for them, but
imagine if
I'm glad we were there to catch it, I guess.
Yeah, if you guys didn't show up, who knows when the next showing was to see that.
Right? Yeah, it was not good.
Wow. That is crazy. What kind of goals do you have for the next year?
Yeah. So as I kind of mentioned in the beginning, I wear multiple hats, which I love. But as my business continues to build, it's been harder and harder to change those hats minute by minute of the day. So definitely my goal of the next year is to do real estate exclusively or add on components that are real estate related. With being in the fashion background, I have a design background, so I love interiors. So would love to add that piece in there and then just stick with homes full time.
Yeah. As of right now, how are you balancing everything that you're doing? Because I know when we first started, you mentioned like a list of things that you're currently doing.
Yeah, it's crazy. A big planner.
Okay.
A big planner and lots of prioritizing, but it's just staying in the moment and taking it day by day and kind of biting off the pieces I can chew. So this morning I have this, then I'm going to go to an inspection. I'm going to go to a final walkthrough and put that day to rest and take tomorrow as it comes. You can't deal with it all too much at once or it gets really overwhelming. So I just try to stay in the moment.
Yeah. Over the last year, if there's anything that you've learned in this last year, I know the market's been kind of crazy for you in your first year of real estate. Is there anything that you would take from this year and start over with? If you could start over with anything, what's one thing that you would change?
Yeah, I would say that the biggest difference that's made in my business is getting a coach. So I had a coach about halfway through this year and it's been just really changing in my business. Just to have that accountability partner to say every week, okay, how many contacts have you made? What have you done to make a change in your business this week? Having that push has been what has made me successful the last few months. So I would definitely say if I had to do it over again, I would have done that at the very beginning.
Nudging you over there.
Yep. Logan's like, it's time.
Do you have any business books that you could recommend to anybody starting out or any of your favorite business books?
So for me, I'm a big like reader for pleasure. So I'm always like doing like Criminal Minds-esque type books, thrillers personally. So for me, for business, what I find I'm doing is really listening to classes in the car. So I have about a half-hour commute to work or anywhere I'm going real estate wide. So I always pop on one of the Keller Williams classes that they offer and then just really dive into that. And that's been really helpful to do that and multitask while I'm driving as well.
That's awesome. I like it. How can people get a hold of you?
Yeah, so you can reach out to me at Lindsey Mooney at kw.com or on Instagram at @theredhead_realtor.
I like it. Is there anything else you want to share with everyone before we go?
No, I just love what I do and I can't wait to sell more homes.
I like it. Awesome. Well, hey, thanks for coming on and sharing your story with us today.
Thanks, guys.
Are these working?
All right.
Here we go.
Oh, there we go. I think they're working. Should we tell them?
Mine keeps falling. It doesn't like my voice.
What do we got to tell them?
Subscribe.
Subscribe? What do we got to point at? Hey, I think there's a subscription button. Like
it might be there.
It might be right there too.
Somewhere.
Somewhere.
Find it. It's red.
Yeah. And it's blue. It's green. I don't really know.
It's a color.
This mic isn't even attached. Did you plug these in? Well, I guess.
I wonder if they can hear us.
Yeah, I wonder if they hear us. Well, we should probably tell them if they can hear us. We should probably tell them also give us a 5-star review if they're listening on Apple. That'd be cool.
5 stars, guys.
Share it with everybody they can think of.
We won't take 4 stars.
I mean, Taylor, I don't even think these are on. I mean,
I don't think this is working.
This is not working.